At this point, things aren't looking great. What's going on YouTube? Flipping Out SC coming at you with a brand new video. And today we're trying something a little bit different. You see, about 8.5 months ago, at the start of last year's offseason, I came out with a video documenting the top 10 young guns under $10 that I was looking to pick up before the 2024-25 season. And while I remember most of the players I put on that list, I haven't watched that video since I put it out. So I wanted to take a look back at that video today and see which players were a fire pick and which ones fell on their sword, so to say. Now, I figure this will be a fun thing to look back at for a few reasons. One, it'll be good to review the year that was and see who was hot and who was not. Two, it's always fun to play the what ifs game and see if you would have won or if you would have lost with all of these players. And three, while I by no means think of myself as an expert, it'll just go to show that maybe it's not always the best idea to take advice from people online, as we'll probably see. But without further ado, let's get into it. Let's take a look at the video. Well, many of you know, I'm not a huge prospector anymore. I just like to pick up a couple cheap young guns heading into the season in hopes that they'll take off. Today, I'm going to share with you my top 10 young guns under $10 to pick up heading into the 2024-2025 season. Let's get into it. What's going on YouTube? Flipping Out SC coming at you with a brand new video. And in today's video, I'm going over what I believe to be some of the best value young guns under. First off, can we all just appreciate that this background changed and it looks a lot better than it did before? Side note. For $10 to pick up heading into the 2024-25 season. I'm going to have everything in here, from young guns under $1 all the way up to $10 and everything in between. So no matter your budget, there'll be something in here for you. And one note before we dive into it is, again, this is not financial advice and I don't have a crystal ball to see in the future. So please buy at your own risk. Valid. In the first spot, we have a name you should be familiar with from a previous video. Alex Barre-Boulet. And before you ask any questions, no, I don't think I'll be buying him. I didn't buy many, but I did buy a few of them. And fool me once, how's that saying going? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And then something about it doesn't happen a third time. And it will not happen a third time, that's for sure. I can't be sure. If this doesn't make sense to you, just watch this video up here. It'll all make sense after that. But anyways, with his recent move to Montreal Canadiens, I still think that Barre-Boulet could be a decent play. I mean, he's beloved there from his days back in the COMC. He's shown he can produce in the juniors and the AHL. He just hasn't had a real great shot in the NHL because he's been stuck down in the lineup in the Syracuse Crunch for the Tampa Bay Lightning. If he can make it on a younger, less crowded Montreal team, his young guns could be in line for a real big boost. Barre-Boulet's current Young Guns price on COMC is 40 cents. For the price that Barre-Boulet was at the time filming this last year, it really honestly was a good gamble. It didn't work out, but I don't feel that bad about this pick. Oh, and by the way, we're going to wait to the very end of the video to actually compare and contrast the prices of the players then and now to really see how we would have done if we would have bought into all of these players. But back to it now. In the number 2 spot, we have another player who I mentioned in an earlier video as well, Jet Greaves. Greaves had an awesome AHL season last year, and he really showed up in the playoffs. Over 46 regular season games last year, Jet had a 2.93 GAA and a 910 save percentage. He even improved on that in the playoffs with a 2.1 GAA and a 926 save percentage. With how Merzlikins and Tarasov played last year in Columbus, it may be Jet time before we know it. And even if he doesn't make the lineup this year, he's still quite young at 23 years old in terms of goalies, so give the guy some time. As I also give the guy some time, still stands. I still have faith in Jet Greaves. He still didn't get really a good shake this year. I think he got up for a few games, but I still think Jet Greaves is going to be special. Give him some time. In an earlier video with Jet being Canadian and how bleak Canada's goaltending situation looks right now, Jet could be a national team player before we know it if he keeps up the solid play. Jet's Young Guns on COMC currently cost $1. In the number 3 spot, we have a player who tore up the AHL last season with 43 goals in 50 games, Samuel Fagemo. Who? I swear I researched this guy. I looked at his cards. I have not heard a single thing about him since I made this video. I think I was the last one that ever talked about Samuel Fagemo, and then I don't know where he is or what he's doing, but I'm just going to skip ahead because, I mean, we'll go to the price, but Young Guns is still quite cheap and could be a worthwhile gamble. Currently, you can find Fogmo's Young Guns at COMC for $1.04. I'm just going to take a wild guess, even though I haven't looked at this, that it is way down, but I guess we'll see. In the number 4 spot, we have a player that I'm betting on having a really big season next year, Shane Pinto. After being suspended for half the season last year for getting caught proxy betting, Shane really struggled to get back to form. He only registered 27 points in the 41 games he did end up playing. However, the Senators in general had a really rough year last year with many injuries to key players that kept them from performing their best. I believe that next year they'll have a bounce back season, and Pinto could be a real big part of that. Currently, one can find Pinto's Young Guns on COMC for $2.93. Yeah, at this point, things aren't looking great, but I do know there's one player further down the list who did do well. So far, though, I think we're like 0 for 4, half a point for 4 maybe with Jet, but like, yeesh, this is rough. In our number 5 spot, we've got a player who I've been watching fairly closely for the past few years and picking up some of his cards here and there, Jake Neighbors. Neighbors has played fairly well in the past, but look for a big breakout this year as he got an upgrade and is slotted on the first line, beside Buchnevich and Kyrou. Now, if you can't score with those two on your line, I think we've got some issues. Aside from this, he's also slotted in on the first power play unit. In 77 games with the Blues last year, Neighbors only notched 38 points, but look for a big jump in production with his boost to his line mates and more opportunity on the horizon. Neighbors Young Guns can currently be found on COMC for $3.48. Another one that, I don't know if he's gotten a big bump, but I have faith. And with the Blues, how they've been playing as of late, he still could go up this year. So we'll see. If we look back at Shane Pinto in the number 4 spot, we've got another player from the same team in number 6, Josh Norris. Norris has been dealing with Again, I'm just going to stop myself and never think about Josh Norris again. Anecdotal story. When I first got back into collecting cards, and I got back into EPAC, I was trying to do the whole grade and flip thing, and I was living in Mexico, which I still am, but we'll soon be back in Canada. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to build one big young gun, one speckled young gun, one big one, grade it, pray for a 10, and then sell it and have a bunch of money to keep doing that over and over again. And I picked Josh Norris, and I paid $30 a young gun 15 times over, spent $450 on a stupid Josh Norris speckled young gun, came to me in the mail, super damaged. I never graded it, and I still have it. I also got a silver foil young gun for I think 86 American on a COMC auction. Graded that, got a PSA 10, still have it. I also have a canvas young gun, PSA 10, still have it. You get the gist. I don't even want to look at this Josh Norris thing anymore. He went to a franchise where players just go to die, it seems like, and so yeah. Josh Norris cost what? $4.50 for $4.50. Lovely. The 7th player on this list is a player who's been spoken highly of for years now, but as per many, just hasn't had the opportunity to break out. And that's Cole Perfetti. Perfetti has a huge opportunity to gain a ton of playing time this year with the departure of Sean Monahan. That second line center position is up for grabs and is there for the taking. Last year, Perfetti was scratched a handful of times and only played in 70 games. However, he did notch 36 points within those 70 games. He did also only average 13 minutes of time on ice per game. So, if he can up his time on ice this year and gain a couple opportunities with the first line power play unit, look for Perfetti to break out and become a star. Currently, you can find Perfetti's Young Guns on COMC for $5.85. Another player who I don't think his price has jumped too much during the regular season, but since Gabe Vilardi has gotten injured, I think Perfetti's back on the top power play unit, and I think he's getting a lot more looks. So I don't know what his price is at right now, but I might be looking at him again heading into the playoffs. We'll see. Player number 8 is super high on my list for the same reasons as the Senators players. Like I said, a rising tide lifts all boats, and with the arrival of Macklin Celebrini and hopefully Will Smith, William Eklund should see a nice boost to his line mates, along with his productivity. Eklund was the only glimmer of hope on a team that basically had none last season. On his first full season with the big club, having only played 17 games in the previous 2 years, he notched 45 points in 80 games. Good for second on the team in scoring. And like I say, with an upgrade to his line mates, it's very possible we see a big increase to his productivity this year. Eklund's Young Guns is currently available on COMC for $6.50. I said a rising tide lifts all boats, and I do think, I haven't really looked into it, but I think his stats are actually quite good this year, but he's being so overshadowed by the new shiny toy of Macklin Celebrini and the other new shiny toy of Will Smith as well. So I don't have much hope for this. I don't think it was a bad play, but I just don't think that it gained much value, sadly. We move on. At number 9, we have yet another player who was featured in a past video. Dustin Wolf. If you weren't aware before this, I'm a huge fan. I'm just excited to watch this one. I hit one. I finally hit one. Man, and I'm super stoked to see what Wolf can do this upcoming season. With the departure of Markstrom, the crease should be mostly Wolfie's to lose. He may start backing up with R, but with a few big performances, he could be the number 1 option before we know it. Wolf's Young Guns is currently on COMC for $8.20. I don't know what the current price on COMC is, but I know that I hit this one because I'm a huge Wolf fan, I'm a huge Flames fan, and I've been buying some of his Young Guns, and I do know that they are not $8.20 anymore, or else I'd be buying a bunch more. But pretty happy with myself. And last, but certainly not least, we have a player who comes in right under that $10 mark in Jack Quinn. Quinn suffered an Achilles injury in off-season training right before the season started last year and didn't make his season debut until the middle of December. Sadly, he only played just over a month before he got injured again at the end of January. And finally, he returned to action 2 months later to finish off the season in March. In total, he only played in 27 games, but impressively, over those 27 games, he notched 9 goals and 10 assists. With how broken up his season was, the fact that he was able to produce without being in what I would call a rhythm was super impressive. I have high hopes for Quinn heading into the 2024-25 season, where he can hopefully put a full season together and really find his game. One additional positive for Quinn's outlook is the recent departure of Jeff Skinner from the Sabres. This should free up space on the right wing, resulting in more opportunities for Quinn to shine. One can currently find Quinn's Young Guns on COMC for $9.70. Did Quinn have more points last year in 27 games than he had this year in an almost full season? Again, haven't looked into his points. Don't know if I really want to, but yeah, hopefully you didn't buy into Quinn like I did. Anyways. And there you have it. So yeah, I just went back through COMC and checked all the different Young Gun prices now compared to what they were, and this is what I found. At the time of filming, Alex Barré-Boulet cost 40 cents and is now 19 cents. That's a loss. Jet Greaves cost $1 and now costs 60 cents. Okay, so a few things. First off, my apologies for this video being like mostly out of focus. Not sure what happened there, but we'll work on it. I just wanted to get this out to you. Second thing, I filmed this video like literally less than a week ago, and I'm just about to finish editing it. I filmed it last Tuesday, which I think was April, 8th. Should be out tonight, April 14th. And within those 6 days, Jet Greaves went from 60 cents all the way up to, I think it's $1.50 plus. He had 3 starts in which he let in 3 goals on 93 shots and won all 3 games with 1 shutout. We're changing that 0-2 to a 1-for-2 because that's a win. That's a big W, and I think that there's big things. So if you're watching this, I'm not going to say spend all your money on him, but hey, might be worth buying a Young Gun or two. Back to it. Samuel Fagemo cost $1.04 and somehow still costs 99 cents. I'm going to count that as a break even. It's a half. It's a half point. Shane Pinto cost $2.93, now costs $1.90. That's a loss. Jake Neighbors cost $3.48 at the time of filming and now costs $3.50. Because there aren't many, I'm taking that as a win. It should be a break even, but it's going to be a win. Josh Norris cost $4.50 at the time of filming and somehow in some way only still costs $4. I don't know who was buying Josh Norris at $4, but let them. My advice to you is don't, but at the same time do whatever you want. Cole Perfetti cost $5.85 and now costs $3.45. Another big loss. I don't know. I think that that's actually a good opportunity, but again, at your own risk. I'm not clearly a good person to take advice from when it comes to buying Young Guns for the most part. William Eklund cost $6.50 at the time of filming and now costs $3.64. Big loss. Again, I don't think it's warranted, but he's just not the new shiny toy anymore, and Macklin is Macklin. Dustin Wolf cost $8.20 at the time of filming, and now his cheapest Young Gun on COMC is $25. I'm counting that as 3 wins because it's 3x the price, so put him up. Put him up. And Jack Quinn cost $9.70 at the time of filming and now costs $3.23. We're still counting that only as 1 loss because I need to keep the wins, even though that should probably be 3 losses because it's 3x the price in a negative way. But yeah, there you have it. I'm gonna do this again. I'm still putting out 10 young guns under $10 that I think you should buy heading into the next season, and we're gonna see if we can do a bit better next year. I don't know what my plan is for doing the research, if I can just steal other people's ideas or if I actually have to do my own research, because clearly my own research didn't work out that well, but we'll see. I have a few players in mind already. Again, maybe you don't want to listen to them, but it was fun. I had a good time. I hope you had a good time. Until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side. Hey, if you liked that video, you might want to check out this one, or maybe even that one. I think you might like those ones as well.